So the magical moment and what you guys have all been waiting for and the big turning point for me. So what I did next was completely transformational. Whether my heart was really in finance or was I just doing it because it was a lucrative career, I think this quote alone might have helped me find my passion. I might be able to track it down to just this quote actually. Turns out my procrastination was linked to my passion. You guys, I can't believe I found it. I've spent years trying to figure out what my passion was and really what my mission was in life. I kept trying to figure out why I was procrastinating, constantly getting sidetracked, and not feeling fulfilled in what I was doing on the side, and even in my job day to day at work. Honestly, I just didn't feel passionate about anything for the longest time. After some introspective moments, I was able to really just get down to it, and I realized what I wanted to achieve in this life. So in this video, I want to show you how I finally got to that point where I could figure out what my passion was. I want to document with you how I was able to think so critically about what I was doing in life in order to find my passion. And finally, I want to share ways that you yourself can find your passion in the easiest way possible, and it might be right under your nose. You guys, honestly, I'm so excited to be sharing this video with you. As you guys know and probably have seen on the channel, I've been changing themes and topics like crazy, and I'm really sorry about that. I apologize, and thank you to all of you guys that have stuck around, all 621 of you. I really appreciate it. But now this channel is going to have a bit more direction because I have found my passion. As you guys know and probably have seen on the channel, I've been changing themes and topics like crazy, and I'm really sorry about that. I apologize, and thank you to all of you guys that have stuck around, all 621 of you. I really appreciate it. But now this channel is going to have a bit more direction because I have found my passion. The craziest thing about finding my passion is I thought it was going to be some huge journey or go do something that I'd never done before to be able to find my passion. But it turns out it was pretty simple figuring out what that really was. For years, and as far back as I can remember, even in the days of middle school, I was constantly asking, why do we need to learn this? And I just didn't have the motivation to continue down what Paul Millard calls the default path in his book, The Pathless Path. As the years slowly rolled by, I found myself losing interest day after day, simply just going through the motions and doing what I needed to do to complete my middle school, then my high school, and then even into my economics degrees post-graduation. Even in my master's degree, I was so excited to get more granular in the economics and learn things at a more granular level. But it turned out to be quite the opposite. It was grueling, not fun at all, and was way too focused on mathematics and things I just was not interested in. And that same feeling of boredom and going through the motions surfaced once again. I thought my graduate degree would be a more insightful way to study the economy, and boy, was I wrong. The work actually became much harder as well, which definitely didn't help me like it anymore. And at one point I even thought I had burnout, and perhaps I did because I just felt so done with it all. And then we fast forward to today, where I'm currently at my second job working in finance at a credit rating agency. And although I do feel like this is a good career for me, it has always felt like a stepping stone to something bigger for me. And this has always been in the back of my mind. It occasionally came to the surface and I would think about it and write in my journal about it, but it's something I never took too literally until this day that I found out what my passion was. As you guys might know, throughout my graduate degree and the 3+ years after that, I've been running this YouTube channel. I ran a podcast for a while, a blog, and even social media. And it first started when I enjoyed the idea of TAing, and I wanted to kind of carry that into a more public setting, reaching a bigger audience. And if you don't know, TAing is teaching assistant, and it's the job I did while I was in school. So I was helping students learn the material better. So I really liked the idea of teaching. And so I started with finance, economics, trading, and investing topics, and seemed to kind of branch out from there. It wasn't really what I wanted to do to start with. The problem with this, I soon realized though, was that I was making videos based on what I thought I was supposed to be making. Because I was working in finance and I did an economics degree, I figured I should probably make videos about those subject areas. The shift continued though, and I soon moved on to more personal development style videos and personal finance as well, as I found my voice on YouTube. And I even went as far as quitting my blog and my social media and my podcast so I could focus solely on creating better videos. As many of you can relate to, I continue to struggle to find my passion. Even if I was making these videos, I still wasn't sure exactly how to pinpoint what I loved doing and how to share that with you guys. It was really starting to upset me. Although I was 25 at the time and currently almost 26, I still feel like I was behind because I hadn't found that, and felt like every day was kind of a waste because I couldn't spend it working towards where I wanted to be. So the magical moment, and what you guys have all been waiting for, and the big turning point for me, I was working on a video script about 2 weeks ago, just thinking and reading various articles on the internet, and I came across a creator called Nat Eliason. If you haven't heard of him, he does a bunch of different topics, talks about his life, and he has a very nice writing style, so I got to reading a few of his articles. The post was titled, "When the Money is Too Good," and I remember this because right after reading it, actually I think halfway through reading it, I walked over to my bed and started writing in my journal. It wasn't even something I consciously did. I just had this urge to suddenly write in my journal and get everything on my mind out on paper. The post really made me think. You should definitely go read it. I'll link it down below. It really made me think hard about why I was in finance and why I continued down this path. And I started to think about whether my heart was really in finance, or was I just doing it because it was a lucrative career that looked nice on paper and that could pay my bills? So what I did next was completely transformational. I spent the next 3 hours, which is so rare for me. If any of you know me personally, you know I can never sit still and I'm always needing to do something and feel productive. But all I did during this time was stare at a wall. I wrote in my journal and simply just laid there to think. And I haven't done this in a while, but I feel like this is the key to helping me figure out what my passion was. One quote specifically from the article that really made me think, and something I definitely journaled quite a few pages about, is when he said, "Success can be its own failure." Success can be its own failure. If you really think about what that means, what does it mean? It means that even though you seem successful on the outside, your heart just isn't in it, and even though it seems like you're successful, it isn't to you. It's not what you want to do. It's not where your heart is in. And you're kind of doing it for that external validation, or maybe those credentials, or what other people might think of you. So in that way, success can be its own failure because it's not you living your best self. This quote hit me hard. I think this quote alone might have helped me find my passion. I might be able to track it down to just this quote, actually. I started to think that a career in finance and getting promotions might look very positive and successful to people in my life and people that care about me, making a 6-figure salary and all of that. But in my idea of what I want and want to achieve in life, I wouldn't see it as a success in the end. If this was all I did in life and I followed this default path, I wouldn't be satisfied with living a life like that. I think that was the big thing. That's the thing that really stuck out to me when I was thinking about this stuff. Then I got to thinking deeper about my procrastination habits and why it was so chronically bad. Even when recording videos in the past, it would take me hours, if not days, to actually sit down, muster the courage, and actually record and edit these videos. Just painstakingly difficult. So that got me thinking, why is that the case? Turns out, my procrastination was linked to my passion. That's pretty crazy, right? So I was procrastinating by doing the thing that I really wanted to do. Weirdly enough, it is tied into this channel. It is related to this, and I'll get to it in a second, but it was this procrastination that I started to realize I was procrastinating. It wasn't even really procrastination. It was just me avoiding doing the work I didn't really like as much, which was editing and filming. and focusing on the things I really did love. And that was revolutionary. I found when I procrastinated, I would go and read a book. The Pathless Path, for example, was one I was reading before I recorded this video. I would go on a walk and listen to a Huberman Lab podcast, or I would binge watch YouTube videos on how to be less socially anxious, how to become more confident on camera. Even things like watching videos on how to build a stronger mind. But all of this had one thing in common: becoming a better human. As broad as that sounds, every aspect of my life, it runs through my veins. It's in my cells. I can feel it coursing through my veins. Every single thing I think about, I do on a daily basis, it's in my mind 24/7. In some aspect or another, it's how to become a better human. From trying to eat healthier to biking to the train station even though it's minus 15 when I could take a car, to recording these YouTube videos week after week even though I don't want to. I just simply have this goal to get better every time, to even just learning things on an ongoing basis, learning about health, learning about fitness, being at the gym every single day of the week. Everything came back to that. Every single thing, every moment of procrastination, every time I got sidetracked. I wasn't doing random bullshit. I wasn't playing games. I wasn't going to hang out with friends. I was procrastinating on my passion. It was my passion to procrastinate. And that's kind of where it was hiding. And I had no idea. It's like the cracks in the sidewalk. You don't notice them, or dust under your bed. It's there. You know it's there, but you don't think to look for it because it didn't have much significance. And all of this came together when I started thinking about YouTube. What role did YouTube play in all this? Why am I making these videos? Because I love teaching, and to become a better human, I want to be able to relay that information to an audience, to teach them how to do what I'm learning to do as well. And that's really it. That's my passion. That's all I want to focus on. I want to get to all the facets of my life where I'm not as good as I could be, find ways to get better, find the most efficient way to do that, and then share those ideas with you guys. It's crazy. I just didn't see this before, but on this Sunday night, everything just became crystal clear. And when I woke up the next morning, I felt so energized. It felt like all the dust, which was all the thoughts in my head, had settled. And it was visibly clear. The visibility was so clear on what I needed to achieve and where I wanted to go next. I didn't think it would be a moment like this. I thought it would be gradual, finding my passion, but it really was just an aha moment, which, revolutionary. That's the best word I can think of, revolutionary. And all of this came together when I started thinking about YouTube. What role did YouTube play in all this? Why am I making these videos? Because I love teaching, and to become a better human, I want to be able to relay that information to an audience, to teach them how to do what I'm learning to do as well. And that's really it. That's my passion. That's all I want to focus on. I want to get to all the facets of my life where I'm not as good as I could be, find ways to get better, find the most efficient way to do that, and then share those ideas with you guys. It's crazy. I just didn't see this before, but on this Sunday night, everything just became crystal clear. And when I woke up the next morning, I felt so energized, ready to tackle the world and ready to just take this on as whatever it takes. It felt like all the dust, which was all the thoughts in my head, had settled. And it was visibly clear. The visibility was so clear on what I needed to achieve and where I wanted to go next. I didn't think it would be a moment like this. I thought it would be gradual, finding my passion, but it really was just an aha moment, which, revolutionary. That's the best word I can think of, revolutionary. Since then, every time I've sat down to write a script, think out a YouTube video, record a video, or read a book, I'm just so energized because I know this is driving me towards my ultimate goal. And although I still might not love editing a video, and I don't love speaking to the camera, I'm still pretty bad at it, I feel like I'm moving myself forward by doing those things over and over and to continue getting better at them. And that's what drives me. That's what I love about it. And that's why I'm so happy I figured this out. I'm just so glad you guys are here to share this with me. If I didn't have an audience like you guys, I could tell my friends, but it's so much better being able to share this with you guys. And I really hope this inspires you to go out and find that too. And now that I've found mine and you hear my story, I really, really hope that you can use pieces of this or even get ideas from the article that I'll share down below to kind of get thinking about your life. If you haven't found your passion or you're feeling a little bit lost, it's completely fine. I was for years, and I really, really encourage you to take more time for yourself to think, to read interesting articles, get out of your comfort zone and do things that you might not otherwise do, and just give everything a whirl. Think closer about the things that you ordinarily just ignore. Maybe it's hiding in the dust somewhere. Maybe it's something much closer to you than you think. You might be overlooking it. You might be overthinking it. It could be a lot closer than you think, and that's one of the craziest things I think I've experienced. The fact that it was right in front of me the entire time. When I did set aside a couple of hours, and this wasn't even intentional, I was supposed to be getting work done, but I went to my journal, started writing, and wrote, I think, 10 pages that night, and spent so much time thinking, so much time relaxing, and that's when my mind could really unravel what was going on. So now I'll turn it over to you. What are you constantly thinking about? Is there something that you're supposed to be getting done, but you're constantly procrastinating doing? What do you procrastinate? When you procrastinate, what do you do? That's where I found it, and honestly, it might be where you find it too. If you constantly find yourself going into a wood shop when you're supposed to be working on getting a report out for your boss, and to blow off steam, you go to a wood shop and you make tables, you make boxes, and you do this on a regular basis. To you, that might just seem like blowing off steam or wasting time or procrastinating, and you might think of it nothing more than just a way for you to handle that. But that could be your passion. Maybe you shouldn't be procrastinating doing it. Maybe you should just do that instead. Take some good time and some introspection. Take time to really think about it. Put aside some time for yourself. You owe it to yourself to do that, just like I owed it to myself, and that's what led me here. Another method that might help you, that helped me get a little bit closer, is called an Ikigai diagram. Ikigai? Not sure if I'm saying that right. Ikigai? Correct me if I'm wrong. Leave a comment down below if you know how to pronounce it. I'd love to know. But it's the Ikigai method, and really what this is, it's a 4-way Venn diagram, for lack of a better word, where it has 4 intersecting areas that form your passion in the center. These include that you're able to help others, something you're good at, something you enjoy doing, and something that you can be paid to do. So what I encourage you to do is take each one of those categories and apply it to your life. List out all of the things you do that you get paid for, that you enjoy, that you do to help others, and that you currently get paid to do or could get paid to do. And if there's some overlap in any of these areas, fantastic. If not, that's okay too. But it'll get you thinking. It'll make you be more creative about things that you could do or things that you might want to do, and where those would fit into those 4 categories. And of course, really listen to your inner self. When you read one of those lists or one of those areas that you listed, really gets you excited, and when you read it, you just get so amped up and excited, and you just want to continue working with that and doing that. Listen to that. Even though it doesn't meet the other criteria, it one day could, and you never know where it'll lead. So just make sure you listen to that. Don't push that down. Make sure you're actively looking introspectively at what you really value and what excites you, and go from there. And sometimes a passion is developed. It's not just realized. I noticed that too. I probably wouldn't have this as a passion if I didn't actively do it on a regular basis, becoming better over time. If I was someone that enjoyed comfort and just loved being stationary and not doing anything on a daily basis, this wouldn't intrigue me as much. Do you see what I'm saying? So developing some skill or some area that you're excited about over time can compound into your passion. Be on the lookout for that too. And don't put too much pressure on yourself. Spend time thinking about it, put it aside, let your brain think about it in the background. You'll come to some realization at some point. So I really think it does come down to just giving yourself that time. We're so freaking busy. Life is crazy. We're working crazy hours. We're in school. We're juggling 60,000 things at once with family and friends and loved ones and driving and everything else you can think of. But it's still so important to just have those moments in your schedule for nothing, for sitting there, for relaxing, for thinking, for journaling, for taking time to just really be yourself, think carefully, and to really just let yourself be you. As simple as it sounds to me now, hearing me say it out loud, that this is my passion, it's something I would never have thought to look for, and it sounds so simple, but yeah, I'm just baffled. And even though there were signs all over the place, I had books laying everywhere, a huge collection of different podcasts I had to get through, and of course, Living Proof is this YouTube channel, I still wasn't able to see it until I thought critically about why I was doing what I was doing. I really hope this motivated you to put some time in your schedule to think, because it's really what did it for me. And you can bet I'll be making sure to do this at least once a week going forward, so that I can have all this time to process and think about things, and maybe even develop my passion further and expand it even more. So let me know down below, have you found your passion? Are you currently on a trajectory to find your passion? Are you feeling a little bit lost, or have you done something similar to me where you've noticed what you do a lot of and then found your passion that way? Or did you find your passion another way? Let me know down below, and of course use the comment section to brainstorm as well. And I can help out too, just like your fellow people here on YouTube. We can all help each other out in the comment section, because none of us are alone in this. We're all trying to figure out what our passion is. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know it's been a long one, but there is a channel rebrand coming soon to really reflect this idea that I found my passion and what I really want this channel to be. I really hope you'll be by my side to support it, and I'll support you guys along the way as well. So the mission for this channel is so clear to me now, that I want to inspire you to become better just like I'm doing, and I want to share my journey with you and become better at everything over time. No matter what area of your life that may be, I just want it to get better. And at the same time, I want to help you succeed as well. And I'd love to start a dialogue with you. Don't feel shy to reach out or ask any questions, or give me suggestions as well. I'm always open to that. So thank you again, and I'll see you guys in the next one.